Good evening, CLC. I'm Naomi Feda. So as you know, I have been working through my new book, Stitching Your Story Piece by Piece, for the last couple of weeks. So we're on week 7, and this is really about our thought life. What's going on internally, although many of these things, like our thoughts, have so much to do with a level of peace or the anxiety that we feel, like what's going on internally. And one quote that I share is by Dr. Timothy Jennings, who says, "When we believe lies about God, those false beliefs actually damage us, change our neural circuits, and warp our minds and characters." And so really, what do we believe about God and about who he is? And one of the lies that I address in here is failure, saying that I've failed God. And how often do we take that on ourselves? Excuse me. And forgetting that he's able, that he's more powerful than our failure. And he doesn't even expect perfection from us. One of my favorite verses about this is 2 Corinthians 12:9. And this is from the NIV. It says, "But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me." And so, not looking at ourselves as a failure, but remembering that the power of Christ can overcome that, and even that God does not expect perfection out of us. And so, one of the reasons that I think that we struggle with failure is even if we have unrealistic expectations of ourselves. And not that we should be too easy on ourselves, but asking God, well, what is a realistic expectation that he has for you in this season? Whether it is something that you've taken on too much, whether it's that you feel driven by a deadline. And these could be for both things in your everyday life, family, or in your spiritual life as well. But because God is he's God of all of that, not just when you're in church on Sunday. And that same verse, also one of the thoughts that goes along with it is a comparison trap of, have you ever started scrolling through social media and thought, well, that person looks like they have their life all together, and I'm not good enough. I'm not that good. And the truth is, whether we like to hear it or not, we aren't good enough, right? Romans 3:23 says, we've all sinned and fall short of the glory of God. We aren't good enough. But his expectation isn't that we're good enough, right? Because he said, my strength will be made perfect in your weakness. So sometimes our expectations of ourselves is much higher than God's. And what he wants is for us to learn dependence on him rather than depending on our own strength. And this is what I had written in the book was, whatever insecurities you have, let God use you just as you are and see what he will do. Rather than trying to compare yourself to others, humbly embrace the person he created you to be. You don't need to outshine someone else in your field, your family, or community. You are his, and he delights in you. Let your weakness be an opportunity for him to be glorified. So, whatever thoughts are coursing through your brain today that might be causing you unrest, just remember that you are his, and he delights in you, and he wants his power to be made perfect in your weakness. So God bless you, and look forward to seeing you in church on Sunday. If you'd like to find out more about Community Life Church, you can find us online at clchurch.cc, also on Facebook and Instagram. Join us on a Sunday, 10:30. We would love to see you there.